ನನ್ನ ಹೆಸರು ಮೋನಿಕಾ ಡಿ ಹೊಂಕಳದ್, ಬ್ಯಾಂಗ್ಳೂರಿಂದ. ನಾನಿಲ್ಲಿ ಏಕಲವ್ಯ ವಿದ್ಯಾ ಕಲಿಯಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂದಿದ್ದೆ, ಮೆಮೊರಿ ಇಂಪ್ರೂವ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳಕ್ಕೆ. ನಾನು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಪಿ ಯುನಲ್ಲಿ ಓದ್ತಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಆಳ್ವಾಸಲ್ಲಿ. ನಾನೀಗ ಬಯಾಲಜಿ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಲೆಸನ್ ದ ಲಿವಿಂಗ್ ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್ ಅಂತ ಇರೋದನ್ನ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ದ ಲಿವಿಂಗ್ ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್, ಈಗ ನೀವು ಲಿವಿಂಗ್ ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್, ದ ಮೇನ್ ಟಾಪಿಕ್ ಕಮ್ಸ್ ಟು ದ ಡೈವರ್ಸಿಟಿ ಇನ್ ಲಿವಿಂಗ್ ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್. In that diversity in the living world, biodiversity. The biodiversity means number of species in a particular area or present in this earth. And if you come for identification, there's more method to identify the particular organisms or species in this earth. And by nomenclatures are used to name the organisms, and the particular name is present all over the world, and the particular organism is having a name with same name all over the world, and it is called by that name. And the last topic goes for the two types of organization built by the organizations of the biology, that botany and zoology. In this botany and zoology organizations, they help to nomenclature the organisms or to name the organisms. In the two nomenclature systems are ICBN and ICZN. ICBN represents that international code for botanical nomenclature, and ICZN states that international code of zoological nomenclature. The both institutions help the most to name the organisms. And the next topic goes towards the rules of nomenclature. If you want to name the organisms, there should be a specific rules or a certain rules to name the organisms. In this lesson, there are 4 types of rules for this nomenclature, and the first rule states that the word should be written in italics but printed in Latin. And the second rule states that the particular name or the particular word should be derived from the Latin and underlined separately. And the third rule states that the first word of the specific organisms or the name of the organisms represents the genus, and the second word states the specific epithet. And the fourth rule and the last rule is that the first letter of the first word should be capital, and the first letter of the second word should be written in small letter. And next next topic is going towards the classification. In classification, you can see how the organisms are classified. It's based on the similar or based on the simple observable characters. Means if the organisms having 4 legs, it's classified into some organisms, and if organisms having 2 legs and hand and a tail, it's classified into another. It's called as classification. And the next topic is taxa. In the plural form, it is called as taxon, and the singular form is called as taxa. It's used to help to categorize the organisms. And next topic goes towards the types of taxonomy. There are 4 types of taxonomy, or the 4 steps to process for this process. First one is characterization. In this characterization, you should particularly identify the characters of the organisms. And the second step goes towards the identification. You should identify the organisms for which species or the which type of organism it relates to. And the third step moves towards the classification. And you should see the identification, and you should classify the organisms into different phylums or the related species. And the last rule is called as nomenclature. Seeing all this, you should name an organisms with a particular name, and that name is present, and that organism is called all over the world with the same name. It's called as nomenclature. Here nomenclature, it's the process of naming an organisms, but at the last, binomial nomenclature came into existence, but before monomial and trinomial nomenclature came into existence. Monomial nomenclature states that one word should be said to a name or should be named for an organisms, but it failed. It did not get succeeded. And the trinomial nomenclature, it also did not succeed. It failed because the three words for an animal was difficult to name, and so many animals were getting the same name repeatedly. Now at the last, binomial nomenclature, it came into existence because the two word which was derived from the Latin and written in italics, says that the specific name relates to the same type of genus, species, or order, classes, or phylum division. And at last, systematics. It's the study of an organism based on its relation, biodiversity, and its organizations or the specific characters. And next, the types of taxonomy or the steps of taxonomy. There are two steps of taxonomy, that is characterization and hierarchy. In characterization, you will see the organisms for which category it belongs to, and then you will say for which hierarchy it belongs to, seeing the characterization or the categories for which the hierarchy belongs to. And here you comes for the main topics of this lesson, that is species, genus, class, order, and family, phylum, and kingdom. First is the first step to name and nomenclature, or to guess the organism for which species it relates to or which kingdom it belongs to. The first step is that the species, it's the identification of the organisms based on its observable characters, and seeing that the name and organisms called as for example, Mangifera indica, mango, and Homo sapiens is humans. It's a biology name for them, but we all call as mango in the general words, and for the humans we call as humans. But in biology, they will be called as Homo sapiens for humans, and Mangifera indica for mango. And the second step is that uh, species and genus. Genus is a group of species. The thing you do in species is carried on to the next step called genus. In this genus, you will just see the generic or genetic material of that animal and classify the organisms into the different types of genus. For the related genus will be kept in a side, and the different types of genus will be kept for another group. Example, Mangifera for mango, and genus for the human is Homo. And the next carried step, and it is carried for the next step for the family, is the group of genus. Family is a group of genus where the genetic material is segregated, and then it goes to the similar family. In our present earth, we can see that a family is having a same genetic material, same DNAs, as this in the same in biology also. Even in family, there are same genetic material which plants and organisms or animals have the same genetic material will be classified into the same family. And for the example, you can say for that Anacardiaceae for mango, and Sapelidans for the humans, or Homalidans for the humans. Next, it is carried for the next step called as order. Order is the group of families. In this order, you can say that the specific organisms of the specific family is set for the some order, as that some family is related for the some place. Example, you can say for that mango is that Sapelidans and Primata for humans. And next is the next step is carried by the class. In class, the group of order. The order you have, which you have done, the process which you have done in the order is continued to the class and is separated for the different classes. As we can give the natural example as caste, which is present in our earth now, because in this order you will classify into the families, and families went for order in, and it is classified into the classes, and for the different types of caste type. Example, you can say for that dicotyledons mango and mammalia humans. Next, you can carry it towards the phylum or division. Phylum, there are many types of phylums all over the earth, and for some organisms can be kept in some certain phylums. For example, mango is kept in angiosperm, and chordata and humans are kept in chordata phylum. And the last steps is that kingdom. There are two types of kingdom classification. One is animal kingdom and a plant kingdom. In animal kingdom, animal are organized, and the same steps is carried over. In the plant kingdom also, same steps are carried over by all over the process. And if this kingdom or the classification does not exist, there was more complex, and there were more issues to be solved, because we are not able to identify the organism for which species it belongs to or which classes it belongs to. And to all total this the lesson's main point, or the lesson is based only on the single pathway, which is said in ascending order as species, class, species. The main order is that species, uh, species, genus, family, class, order, and phylum, and last over kingdom.